In this video, we will be talking about alkanes. This is the second video of organic chemistry. Alkanes are hydrocarbons which contain carbon-carbon single bond. These are also called as saturated hydrocarbons. As you can see, here is the structure of ethane in which there are carbon-carbon single bonds. Okay. Uh, you have for naming alkanes, you have to memorize these stem name like meth. Meth stands for one carbon, and eth for two carbon, prop three carbon, bute four carbon, and penta five carbon, hex six carbon. So you have to memorize these stem names for naming alkanes or other members of homologous series. uh, First member of alkane is methane, then comes ethane. Eth mean two carbon, N stands for single bond, saturated compound. So first member is methane, then ethane, propane, butane, pentane, and hexane. Methane has formula CH4, ethane C2H6, propane C3H8, C4H10, C5H12. So in this way, you can see it's the homologous series. Every next member is one carbon, two hydrogen more than the previous one, and you it's a sequence. You can find the general formula of this homologous series, that is CnH2n plus 2. It follows all the characteristics of homologous series which we discussed in our previous video. As you are going down, melting point, boiling point, density, viscosity, everything increases and flammability decreases downward. All members of homologous series, they follow the same general formula. All members of alkanes, they show almost all same chemical properties. What are the chemical properties of alkanes? Number one is combustion. Alkanes can be used as a fuel. When you combust alkane, there are two types of combustion. One is complete combustion, which takes place in the presence of abundant supply of oxygen. In this case, water and carbon dioxide will be made. And in case of incomplete combustion, which will happen when there is less supply of oxygen, in case of incomplete combustion, there will be water and carbon monoxide. As you can see from the reaction, if methane gas is burnt in oxygen, in abundant supply of oxygen, it will make CO2 and water. And methane, in case of incomplete combustion, will make carbon monoxide and water. A second property of alkane is substitution reactions. Remember that saturated hydrocarbons with single bonds, they undergo substitution reactions. Okay. um, Substitution reaction mean when one hydrogen atom is replaced by another coming functional group or another atom, like CH4. When it is reacted with chlorine, one chlorine will displace one hydrogen and then another hydrogen, and in this way all hydrogen will be displaced. As you can see, CH4 plus Cl2, one hydrogen is displaced. It is called monochloromethane, and monochloromethane will react with another uh, chlorine. It will make dichloromethane and so on. Okay. uh, you should remember that chlorine reacts only in the presence of light, so these are called as photochemical reaction. Substitution of alkanes with chlorine is a photochemical reaction. Its condition is sunlight. Okay. um, Look at this. As I told you in earlier, that when one chlorine displaces one hydrogen, it makes CH3Cl. CH3Cl, again it makes CH2Cl2. Then one more hydrogen is displaced, CHCl3 is made, and at the end, all the hydrogen are displaced with 4 chlorine, and it makes CCl4. All these are organic compounds, but but these are not hydrocarbons. Okay. um, what are isomers? This is a major topic of organic chemistry. Most of the time, question is asked from isomers. Iso mean same. So isomers are same compound, mean a compound with same molecular formula, but different structures are called as isomers. There are different types of isomer. Number one, a straight chain in which all carbon are in a straight chain, in a sequence they are arranged, head on they are arranged. Um, One are branched isomer in which There is a chain and one carbon is joined as a branch in them. And there are some cyclic isomers as well, in which there's a closed chain in which all carbon they form a ring. Okay, we'll discuss in our further discussion. Look at this. Butane. There are four carbon. Butane has formula C4H10. In one structure, you can see all carbons are arranged in a single row. This is called straight chain isomer, and its other isomer is join three carbon and attach one carbon as a branch in the middle of this chain. Remember, chain is attached only in the middle. Mean chain branch never exists at first or last carbon. Okay, if you bend the last carbon and you say it's a branch, no, it's a wrong structure. You must pluck one carbon and attach into inside the branch, mean in carbon number 2 or 3 or any other carbon, but not at the last or in the first carbon. Okay. um, Cracking, we can crack hydrocarbons. Cracking is a breakdown of a hydrocarbon, long chain hydrocarbon. They break down into smaller hydrocarbon. Cracking takes place when we heat a long chain hydrocarbon at high temperature and pressure, and we give aluminium oxide catalyst in this process. Uh, we break down long chain into smaller because smaller hydrocarbons are more valuable. They undergo complete combustion. They have more flammability. Long chain hydrocarbons have less flammability. They produce more smoke and less flame. So bigger hydrocarbons are broken down into smaller because smaller hydrocarbons they undergo best uh, combustion and they produce more flame. For example, we can break ethane. Ethane can be broken down into two smaller compounds. One is ethene and one is hydrogen. Similarly, we can break butane into two compounds of four carbon each. One is butane and one is butene. Um, you can see at this diagram, we can perform cracking in the lab as well. If we have a long chain hydrocarbon, for example, we have decane, so put it into the tube and heat it in the presence of aluminum oxide, it will produce bubbles. So bubbles mean the liquid substance has been broken down into two gases. um, Look at this. A long chain hydrocarbon is broken down into two or three smaller compounds. This process is called cracking. And again, cracking is done to get smaller compound because smaller compounds are more valuable. They have best flammability. Hope you got this.